This is a double-barrel shotgun from PUBG. It has the two standard features you'd expect it to: shooting and reloading. Now this is a shotgun from ULTRAKILL. It can shoot and reload. However, it can also explode, throw a grenade, throw a chainsaw, and do many other things. Now, just like this shotgun, every gun in ULTRAKILL has at least 29 features coded into it. And that makes me wonder, if I were to open a new game project right now and try to recreate these weapons, how hard would that be? To answer this question, I picked 5 weapon variants from the game that I'm going to try and copy. And after doing so, I'll be giving each one of them a difficulty rating from 1 to 5, starting with the iconic marksman handgun. Thankfully, I've already made the gun models before I started recording this video. ULTRAKILL weapons can fire and alt fire. Fire as in shoots bullets normally, and alt fire will be the secondary ability of the weapon. The marksman's alt fire lets me throw a coin, and when I shoot that coin, the bullet bounces from it to the nearest enemy's weak point. As for the fire, it's just the typical gunshot. The handgun is a hit scan weapon. Hit scan means the moment you fire the gun is the moment the enemy you're looking at gets damaged, which also means that everything happening on screen, like the bullet trail, is all for decoration. So in order to implement the gunshot, all I have to do is check what the player is pointing at and make it take damage instantly. The bullet trail is added later as an extra, and that can be done by just stretching a rectangle to the target and then making it gradually disappear. The coins are also fairly simple. When the player alt fires, a coin spawns and flies forwards. And if the player fires at the coin, instead of making the coin take damage, I make the nearest enemy take damage. The only annoying part about this is drawing the bullet trail, which can be done by either drawing a second rectangle or bending the first one. I went for the latter. Coding this gun's features was really easy. The tedious parts were entirely decoration related. So in terms of difficulty, I give the handgun a 2 out of 5. Next up, the shotgun. The shotgun's fire functions as you would expect it to. The alt fire allows it to eject a grenade, which can be shot mid-air to explode. Unlike the handgun, this is a projectile weapon, meaning the visible bullets are actually functional. They have to travel to the target in order to deal damage. The pellets are just a bunch of flying balls. All I have to do is spawn those, then give them some speed, and then make them disappear and do damage when they hit something. The alt fire is much simpler. All I have to do is spawn a grenade model and give it some speed. The only annoying part is the explosion effect, but thankfully I already have one from a game I made before, so I just copied that and made it trigger when the grenade hits the ground, or when I shoot it with the handgun. Now, the shotgun's fire and alt fire are both done, but there's actually a hidden third ability, arguably the most important one. That's the ability to parry your own shots. The first part of this is the punch. I have to make an arm, then animate it. The second part is the parry itself, which is actually extremely simple. If you take a closer look, you can see a new orange projectile that spawns after punching the pellets, and that projectile is responsible for the explosion. So what I need to do is copy exactly that. And to make it look satisfying, I gotta add the iconic impact frame, and that's all there really is. The shotgun's mechanics are really simple to figure out, but it does feel more packed with features than the other weapons, and for that I give it a 3 out of 5 difficulty rating. Next up, the nail gun. The nail gun is an automatic gun that can shoot nails with its fire ability. I was not looking forward to making this gun whatsoever. The reason for that is because it interacts too much with physics. If it wasn't bad enough that every nail this thing shoots is a physics-based projectile, it can also shoot a magnet with its alt fire that actively pulls nearby nails. This looks like a complete headache. Anyways, I made the nails, then made the gun be able to shoot them, following the same logic as the coins and the grenades. After that, I made the magnet, made it stick, and coded it to pull any nearby nail. And well, it worked. On the first try. Huh? Why is it working? So it turns out the nail gun wasn't as hard as I thought it would be. The magnet doesn't successfully catch every nail, but neither does the one from ULTRAKILL, so yeah. I give the nail gun a 3 out of 5, but I really believe it could get a lot more difficult if I remade the entire game, so just keep that in mind. The next weapon is the railgun. This one is really easy. To make it, go to the handgun scripts, copy and paste. Remove the alt fire and give the fire a really long cooldown. Now you have a musket. Make the bullet trail blue. Now you have a railgun. And after animating it and adding some screen shake, you can finally feel the impact in those shots. The railgun's alt fire is just a zoom in. I can easily achieve this by lowering the FOV. Minecraft taught me this trick. And beyond that, there's really nothing more to explain. 1 out of 5. Finally, the rocket launcher is next. If it wasn't obvious enough, this gun can fire rockets. It can also stop time for those rockets with its alt fire, but no one cares about that. The thing everyone's here for is the ability to ride the rockets. So let's be quick. Here's the rockets flying in the right direction. Here's the time stop ability. Now for the main thing. The first part of rocket riding is putting the player on the rocket. To do this, I make the player actively copy the rocket's position, without forgetting to freeze him. And this triggers after the rocket touches the player. The next part of rocket riding is controlling the rocket. To control a rocket that is always propelled forwards, all I have to do is rotate it. So what I did is replace the player's movement controls with the rocket's rotation controls. You can fly very easily with this. In terms of difficulty, the rocket launcher gets a rating of 2. Now I leave.